3, 2, 1, play. Hello everybody, this is Milesluigi welcoming you to the second Digressing Mario Kart date, where we take an in-depth look at a lot of Mario Kart 8's mechanics, look at some fun online races, and go at it. I'd like to actually start this by apologizing that my good mic is... I'm not using it. It's briefly out of commission while I get a new mixer. But regardless, this is actually within the first 4 hours of me playing around online. As of late, I've been really trying to get used to this sport bike, which I'm currently using. I didn't have the advantage of playing Mario Kart Wii, which had like the mock bike and whatever in the world the other bike's names were. I think Flame Runner. But they have this different drifting scheme, which is different than everything else in the game. Everything else in the game, oh wow, I am doing awfully. Everything else in the game I'd like to describe kicks outward when you drift in. Something I've never, ever noticed until the brief period when I played Mario Kart Wii way after the fact. And you're like, oh my gosh, this Mario Kart game has bikes? Why the hell did I never play this Mario Kart game before? So, play Mario Kart Wii a little bit. I've never played Mario Kart Wii online or anything like that. And it has these bikes that just drift way differently. And of course, come Mario Kart 8, you have the same thing. If you look at the icon of the bike you're choosing, some of them have the kickouts, like the standard bike, and some of them are like the sport bike, where they have an inside drift. And it's definitely different, but part of the reason why I'm doing this, I'd rather play Mario Bike than Mario Kart. That's just me. Personal preference more than anything else. But the inside drifting, I will say, is just plain and simply more rewarding to use for whatever reason. That's not to say that this type of vehicle doesn't have its faults. If you look at the stats, these things have the worst traction in the game. So if we're on a track like Mount Wario, we're completely SOL. Now we are on a good old-fashioned Mario Kart 7 DK jungle here. They missed a chance to them Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze reference here, if you ask me. But something I wanted to point out, that just a little thing I've noticed between 7 and 8. Oh, holy crud, I got a Thunder in 4th? What the fudge was that? Mario Kart 7 really emphasized the flying sections way more than 8 has. Matter of fact, if you take a look for videos online on Mario Kart, let me think here, Mario Kart 7, you'll notice a whole bunch of flying shortcuts and a lot of really cool, nifty things you could do with flying. Frankly, flying was a big part of 7. And it's here in 8, but it's nowhere near as much of a role. I haven't seen like, oh hey, here's a flying section, and if you do this will be a shortcut. Perhaps a really good example, and it'll be a race shown in this digression, is Piranha Plant Slide. It used to have a shortcut where if you flew over the castle, you could jump over the fence, and that pretty much sealed my fate right there. You could pretty much jump right over the fence, and you would be good to go. And that's not exactly the item that I needed there to catch up. So it will save me from all this shit. Okay. I somehow managed to get something out of it at the very least. Whew. Nothing like playing as Luigi. I remember playing as Luigi because I'm like, I want to get a couple of Luigi death stares. I might actually main as Luigi just for his death stare. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you obviously haven't been keeping up with the internet. I wanted to thank you, Yoshi, for letting me just join you in races. This is something I actually meant to bring up at the start of the video, but whenever you play online, you know, Mario Kart uses a VR system. Your VR is essentially your quote-unquote proficiency or rank. You get VR when you win, you lose VR when you lose. The idea is then you get match made with other people with similar VR, and you're good to go. The thing is, if I just joined online by myself, I'd be around with a whole bunch of other newbies. However, since I'm racing with Yoshi, and you can expect to see him and his go-kart really go a whole lot in my videos, I get to race with more better players, and thank you again for letting me do that, Yoshi, because that's the way I like to play online. I'd rather be playing with players who know what they're doing and who are good at the game, and get my ass handed into me because I'm going to learn and get better at this game naturally because of that. Right now I'm using a relatively acceleration-based setup here with this sport bike and the roller tires. The roller tires are magnificent on acceleration. They actually kind of mitigate the bad traction issue, though. Not very much. This track here has a shortcut right here, and I remember posting this because I'm like, I never even noticed that shortcut was there, and oh look, I just wasted a whole bunch of time there. That's actually a shortcut I need to practice, but essentially that turn, you gotta cut the corner, and once you cut the corner, you're good to go here. But yeah, roller tires here, they massive boost to acceleration. It's really nice. Matter of fact, something that's really surprised me about Mario Kart 8 is how much the character changes, just specifically the top speed stat more than anything else. Like, you look at certain things on what certain things affect. Like, I'm pretty confident the bikes or karts and bikes don't affect too much. Oh, look at that red shell just passed right by me. but like your wheels and everything. But it's like then you go to your character selection, and the difference between the babies is like 2.25 top speed, and your heaviest characters like Bowser 4.75 speed. That's a huge difference, like a massive difference. And the thing is, the top speed I feel like actually makes quite a bit of significant difference here. I was playing around in time trial using the exact same setup, comparing between a regular like the lightest character, Baby Mario, and then Bowser, and just how noticeably faster it felt. Back when I played Mario Kart 7 online, like I could feel a difference between the top speed and the lowest speed, but it really wasn't enough to really justify much of anything. I could beat all the staff ghosts even with this really slow kart setup. Well, then again, all the staff ghosts in Mario Kart 8, there's no expert staff ghosts in time trials. It's all just normal staff ghosts, which is kind of lame. I guess you could shoot for the world record, that's nice, but then we'd have to do some fire hopping. Oh, how about that? This game's been out for a week and people are already talking about an exploit, fire hopping. That's something I actually kind of want to do a full digressing Mario Karts on, but I need to actually learn a little bit more about it. Fire hopping. Evidently, it's something that you can't do with sport bikes. I'd like someone to explain that, and I'd like someone to explain why the hell is Luigi's test look so magnificent there. Holy moly. Luigi, how do you end up in the weight class that you were in with that kind of body? But explain to me this. It's to my understanding, fire hopping, you hop at the end of a drift. Right when the drift boost is about to end, you hop. That way you don't lose that speed over a little bit, and as a result, you're able to maintain that speed just a little weeny bit more. If that's the case, why does it discriminate against like the sport bikes or certain other karts? Or it's something that I don't understand, and I personally want to begin to learn to understand. Alright, so I've switched over to Bowser here. Remember, he has a significantly bigger speed difference, just top speed flat out, just by virtue of being a heavier character. And at least what I'm foreseeing as this game continues to progress along, and matter of fact, I saw this a lot while playing online just my first 4 hours, is that people are playing as heavier characters for that top speed stat. And who can blame them? You want to be able to go faster. You see, Mario Kart is a game where your acceleration stat is basically your resistance to bullshit. You don't use acceleration to be able to recover after returning from a turn because you drift every single turn. You never use the brakes in a turn, so your acceleration is just, oh shoot, I got hit by something, I need to recover. Which is important, don't get me wrong, it is, but it doesn't have the same role, say, a traditional driving game does, or say, you know, traction and handling, where you probably want a certain amount of traction or handling in given situations. They've designed this game where even with the worst kart, every single turn is possible provided you approach it correct, which I like that setup. You know, if I went into a race with like the absolute worst handling possible, which I don't know what that would be off the top of my head, every single turn is theoretically possible, though good luck if you start getting bumped around like crazy and nuts. There's only 4 players right now in this track on our regular Mario Karts, and one of the reasons why I wanted to include this one in my first, or in this Digressing Mario Kart, is this is actually my first place. I think this was like hour 3 into the recording, and frankly, while Yoshi was kicking my ass most of the time, which is sport. I don't mind at all, because I'm trying to learn the game, I'm trying to get better, I'm trying different setups here, different characters. Admittedly, I was kind of stubborn with this sport bike. I briefly switched over to a standard bike, but I kind of see the advantage of this sport bike with the inside drifting and everything. But there we go. Hell yes, I actually got a first online, and given that I'm racing against higher VR players, let's see how much my VR increases by 16. Wowzers, would you look at that? Haha. Oh, I'm remembering this next race now. This one will be taking place on Yoshi Valley, which in itself is like a really chaotic track. I've been actually meaning to look at some time trials to see exactly what is the best path through this track, although it seems like everyone likes taking the bridge at the beginning. And really, how much exactly does it matter which path you take specifically? Because I'm always a big fan of taking a very slightly slower path for the virtue of there being less chaos. Oh man, I gotta watch some time trials on this one. But you see that bridge there, so I tried taking it here, and oh, I actually managed to kind of stay on it. This bike is going all crazy and around and all over the crazy place. Haha, just as crazy as this track here. It's funny, in the original Mario Kart 64, it couldn't even really keep track of your place just because of how crazy and insane it is, and the fact that they didn't want to put in some what exactly would be the name of the programming terminology? I totally biffed that bomb. Wow, that was awful. Yeah, I'm falling behind here. But it's like, okay, you have all these different paths, and it's like, okay, progress through different paths, different things over there. Look at this blue shell go over here to make the difference here, and you can see how far ahead first was. He actually wasn't that far ahead. First was not running away here in the slightest. This is actually a pretty decent map for first to run ahead, just because with all the different paths, first can pretty reliably just stay away from all the chaos and ruckus if they know what they're doing, or take fastest path. Get all the coins. Matter of fact, this is, you know how there's a coin as an item? Just something that's been part of Mario Kart since Mario Kart 7, this Mario Kart 2. Guess what? First is the class, or the place, that gets the opportunity to get all the coins first. Ay, ay, ay. Can't do anything with those bombs, but those circumstances. So here, I was trying to throw the bomb ahead of the track so I could make something out of it, blows up some enemies behind me because, you know, the bomb's a tricky item to use. It's hard to get it placed well in front of you, and of course you can lay it behind you and destroy your competition, but for everyone out there who gets hit by somebody with a star, you have to remember from the other point of view, and it's hard to think about the other point of view because you just get screwed over. It is satisfying as all heck. So you just got fricked over by someone who ran into your star, but the other person was just like, hell yes! You see, it's more than a shell. A shell, you just fire it, and it's like, oh, hey, I kind of hit you. But then you've run into someone with a star. It feels so damn satisfying. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably one of the most satisfying things in this game is to nail someone with a star. I mean, maybe nailing someone with a green shell just because inherently how much skill that takes. Okay, I can understand that being a little bit more satisfying. That's actually a decent question. What is one of the most satisfying things here? But I want everyone to pay attention right now and watch what happens. Oh, wasn't that nice? I remember actually thinking at this point, wait, did I just pick up a star? Hex to the fudge, yeah, and someone tried to boomerang me. No land go, no can go. Got ahead of you. Ha ha ha! You get out of my sight. Ooh, holy crap, plus 29. You can see how much further behind I am from all these players, and at this time, actually, Wayoshi left the room and was trying to get back in. I think he was changing characters. But let's take another look at that. You can see he had a crazy 8, but guess what? If you get a crazy 8, unless you're, like, near no one, you pretty much want to spam the items, if for nothing else, the star, because that star is damn useful. Okay, Wayoshi, I know you're going to like this one, because he's actually uploaded a highlight of, this one here. Matter of fact, I'll probably link that one in the description. So this is that race from my point of view here on the cloud top. I forgot the name of this track now. It's the Mario Galaxy track there. How about that? Mario Galaxy track. Oh man, this track is just ridiculously twisty, fun like this. It reminds me a lot of the Mario Kart DS. What is the name of that one track? Thanks, Wayoshi. What is the name of that track? It's the one with the bullet bills, the airship. That track there, but you know, more in a Mario Kart 8 fashion style. Kind of like that. Reminds me a lot of that, except there's no big spiral at the end. Instead, right at the end here, as we cross there, you have that leaf shortcut there. Ooh, there we go. That was a good time for a blue shell. Leaf shortcut here, which it's worth practicing. Definitely is, though it can get kind of busy there as Iggy almost just knocked me over. That would have been bad. Yeah, small platform like that on a tight turn that's tough to take, it can be tough to take. And it's hard to give everyone who hasn't played Mario Kart Online an analogy other than it's a tight space, it's easy to fall off. If you fall off, Lakitu doesn't really place you in that good of a position, so you're pretty much SOL if you fall off the leaves over there. Alright, so as you can probably guess, not doing exactly the hottest in the world here. Got knocked over quite a bit. Doing pretty awfully, probably why she's first knowing him. He's damn good at the game, I gotta say. All the item boxes already stolen from me. Yikes. But see what I mean? Now watch, where Lakitu places you. That is not a good place to land, as I fall all the way to not last place. That's what I'm going to start calling 11th place, not last place. Isn't that funny? Okay. But I digress. I'm probably not going to win this race. At least that's what I was thinking at this point. So we might as well try to make the most out of what we can get here. Because we're now reaching the final stretch of this race. Another pattern that I have definitely noticed from my preliminary racing online. Yeah, the item distribution does whack out near the end of the race. Players tend to more get the mushrooms and speed up items. Oh, hi there, Iggy. Knocked me off the speeding platform. Darn you. But let's take a look here. Now, this is a pretty good time to pull that star, because look at all these guys. Miss. Oh, I'm going to take the shortcut. Let's get ahead. Let's get it. How the hell did I end up in third? I'll take it. Here I am in almost last. And I pull ahead into third because everyone else is beating the crap out of each other. And I just pull ahead right into the middle of that pack there. Wasn't that fantastic? That was a little close if you ask me. Yeehaw! We're going to do one more race for this Digressing Mario Kart. This was one of the last races that I had while playing online. First things first is I'm honking my horn here, playing as Roy. While Yoshi and I were testing it, he was honking his horn this entire time. He's Waluigi, by the way. And no, it appears that honking your horn is entirely cosmetic and not annoying, which is probably for the better, because otherwise it'd be extraordinarily annoying for everyone to just honk their horn at the start of a race, because it'd just honk, 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 honk. It'd be like the world's most annoying thing. I'll watch. Nintendo in a future patch will enable it to where, yes, you can honk at the beginning of the match, because you all know what, why the hell not? And I'll be like, no! Give me more tracks! Give me more tracks, Nintendo! Don't give me this baloney! At least I get to finally point out something I wanted to point out. So in the Mario Kart 7, this track, you go off this booster here, and you see that tower that we're going up across. If you flew upwards, you can actually go over the tower, and then that shortcut through the fence, you could practically make that shortcut if you were decent enough. Like, you would usually land in the grass, but if you were just perfect with it, you could make that shortcut. No mushroom, no nothing. And it was hard to do, but it was definitely worth it online races for how much time it saved. But I've tried it. Maybe there's something about Mario Kart 8 that I'm totally missing, but I couldn't pull it off here. But if you want to know why I'm playing as Roy, well, Roy's our boy, and admittedly the setup that I'm currently using, while Yoshi kind of introduced me, because I just unlocked the slick tires by the time I got this setup. So basically, this is the second heaviest class here with the sport bike and the slick tires, which puts me at pretty, actually average acceleration, which is good, but like a top speed of 4.75 with that average acceleration, which is pretty fantastic. And plus, it looks like the mock bike, or what was it, Flame Runner? Mock bike slash Flame Runner from Mario Kart 7, and admittedly, that's like the type of bike I want to drive. Personal preference more than anything else. But to conclude this race, I have a race here where I pretty much pulled ahead here. If too bad the little mini-map doesn't show, it shows a little Wii U touchpad here. But I remember actually coming up to the Z, I looked at my touchscreen, I got hit with a blue shell, and I'm really far ahead. If I remember correctly, like, everyone was back near the first piranha plant, and then Yoshi was kind of behind me to where he could catch up if another blue shell came. But otherwise, unless I got completely screwed over by the item here and he got something good, I was winning this race. And I got a coin, so it was in his favor, but he didn't get anything that allowed him to catch up, so there we go. Roy's our boy, everyone. Say hello to probably what's going to become my favorite Koopa kid in this game. Roy is our boy. So that has been a Digressing Mario Kart day. My first 4 hours online, a couple of highlights. I hope you have enjoyed. And we'll see you next time where I just digress more about this game. And we'll talk about some more things as more things come concrete in this game. Hopefully, unless it gets patched, maybe I can do an episode on fire hopping. But anyway, this has been Milesluigi. See you then.